hôm đấy nó mới bắt đầu nó submit một cách properly đấy ạ. Còn lại ngày nào cũng xin rất là
anh Joy rồi đây, nhưng mà đây có nhìn thấy thầy vào rồi này.
Vẫn quên, vẫn bảo vợ nó bảo nó là họ hứa mà.
Có Joy rồi đây nhưng mà chưa nhìn thấy chỗ nào nhỉ?
Em gọi nhưng không có thời gian, nó bảo là kết nối với thầy rồi, thầy đang điểm danh. Em gọi thôi. Em bảo thầy đang điểm danh.
Mọi người không biết hôm qua côn kiểu gì nhỉ?
Em bảo thầy đang điểm danh, thầy đang trình bày. Chị Diệp đang trình bày, thầy đang điểm danh lên ngay. Để
Do như nào nhỉ? Mình mở cái đường link này rồi.
Vâng, anh vào link đây đang connect đến đây ạ.
Hiểu đang connect nhưng làm sao để có nhìn được cái nhỉ? Camera cả hai bên thì sâu thế này nhỉ? Hay là không, nhưng anh không chắc ý làm không, nhưng làm sao để thầy với cả
Mình đã côn sang bên kia rồi.
được không? Thì thế anh roi vào đây thôi, thì côn là côn như nào?
Do vào cái link mà bên kia người ta gửi cho đúng không anh cho em cái link được không? Em nhập vào đây.
We just finished.
Đây.
Finish already? Yes. Welcome, boss.
Làm sao mà nhập được nhỉ?
Chỉ cần một máy cho tôi được không?
Một máy thôi.
Em còn nghĩ còn cả khách hàng người ta làm đến trước.
Số nào nhỉ? Nhập
Your call cannot be completed in the style. Please consult your directory and call again, or ask your operator for assistance. This is a recording.
See the news slide. Look at the news slide. So each of the slide, Mr. Venus.
Because only in chapter introduction.
Can you loan me?
Okay. Good question.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Totally yes.
Anh mở lại cho em cái email của anh chụp gửi.
Anh roi vào thì anh nhìn thấy rồi nhưng mà chưa thấy tiếng từ bên kia.
On the display, you see the notes for every slide. So you don't need to worry yourself. You can hold this like a professor. Okay.
I'm not joking too.
Minh mở slide lên đi Minh. Phần của Minh đầu tiên mà.
Bắt đầu luôn chưa?
Bắt đầu luôn.
Xong Michael nó bảo là cho anh Bình hiện có cả lời.
Nốt đi.
Em chép ở đây rồi.
Cho lại bờ đi.
For all your
Chị thấy nổi chưa? Có phải cái nổi không? Em cắt anh ấy là chủ nhà đây, để kết nối được em nhờ một tích
em cứ được nhìn vào slide của anh.
Đương nhiên được, mày hỏi câu ấy, bây giờ mày tận tình mày.
Không, nhưng mà chuyển.
Good morning everyone, can you hear me?
Không cần nữa. Các máy đều có slide rồi mà.
Hello, Professor, good morning.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No, you cannot.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your directory and call again.
We cannot hear. We cannot hear your voice.
I know.
Anh có cái link không cho em xin link?
Mình hay là tụi mày?
Alo.
Anh kết nối rồi nhưng mà nó phải ra hệ thống ngoài nữa mà thầy chỉ nghe thấy bây giờ. Hoặc là mình không nghe thấy giọng.
Có nha, em Bình chắc cũng nhìn thấy đúng không? Nhìn thấy em.
Đó. Anh cũng nhìn thấy rồi nhưng mà còn coi nữa, mọi người phải nghe được nữa.
Nghe được chưa? Nghe được chưa?
Nó nói cái hệ thống này nó không phải là máy tính không. Mở đường link thôi, mở đường link sáng em Hà gửi ấy.
Connection failure.
Yes.
Gõ gì anh? Vào cái chỗ Webex này xong gõ à?
166 106
FTI á. Ở đây sao?
Nghe được chưa?
I need to sit here until end of this day. Special.
Hà nghe gì đúng không?
Tại sao nó cứ có nhạc này nhảy nhá? Hay là đẹp lắm?
Đấy, mình để loa máy mình rồi này, xem là không liên quan gì đến hệ thống kia thì nó vẫn phải nối được cái nhỉ?
Alo ạ. Dạ vâng. Dạ vâng. Có cái meeting number ID rồi. Rồi bây giờ gõ 904 xong gõ cái mấy rồi. Dạ,
106 chứ.
Hear that? Can you hear that?
106 hay là 166 166
Nghe được chưa hả?
9698. Nhìn được nhưng mà không nghe được.
Nghe được chưa? Nghe được chưa?
Mọi người thôi.
Không được anh ạ.
Nghe được chưa? Hello, nghe được chưa?
Dương gọi rồi, Dương vừa gọi.
Can we do it too?
Yes, of course we can. But if we use Zoom, so we cannot see on the screen. I understand we can use any tool.
Testing.
Chuyển qua Zoom không nếu mà
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Em just ai mình nhận diện.
Innovation. Four. Innovation. Okay. Entrepreneurs and innovation.
last course hả?
Testing. Can you hear me?
Just that you send the final version for professor. As you that's the question.
This is also like send the questions to the professor, but he wouldn't answer. But anyway, I believe last time. Why you ask? Haven't seen any verses?
Oh, maybe I missed your email.
Yeah.
Because we sent the version before our presentation. No internet. There is no internet.
Yes.
You need to connect.
FPT Telecom. FPT Telecom.
And then
We stand up to do this.
Mình mày chỉ
Em đi gần đâu? Em đi gần đâu?
Mình đang nói chuyện với ai tiếp chuyện thầy đâu. Chuyện khách hàng.
Nói chuyện không nào?
Thì đúng rồi, không có nói chuyện với thầy ngày hôm nay, thầy chỉ là đứng quan sát viên.
Chết, cái kỳ tí nữa giờ. Thế có phải giới thiệu thành phần không?
Thành viên là đấy là gì nữa, project mày là người giới thiệu. Đấy thầy đấy là gì nữa? Ừ.
Tức là em giới thiệu cho.
Không cứ lần đầu là Michael nói. Ví dụ slide này, slide thứ hai là Michael nói, thì slide thứ ba là mình nói. Còn nó có cái transition slide nữa. Đấy là cứ mỗi một người mà tới cái transition slide đấy người đấy bắt đầu như nào rồi có hết rồi.
Rồi.
Em Bình nói được thì qua để nó thu luôn.
Thế chứ.
Xong vào phần nào anh có 3 phần favorite,
như không nói thầy sẽ không nuôi được nhưng mà
hay là chọn search or hay
có thể thầy vẫn đang nghe mình nói nhưng mình không nghe thầy nói.
có em đang nghe đây.
Nghe là qua clip của laptop thôi.
Khoan từ từ nhưng mà để em xem là em báo lên nhân số này.
Nhưng mà sợ cái chưa con nối lại.
166 bao nhiêu?
Không sao, hôm qua cũng muộn.
10.
Hôm qua khoảng 8:05 bắt đầu. Anh nhớ anh
1006.
Hôm nay cho cả hai session.
Xong bao nhiêu nữa?
Hai
của tội Khánh ấy đúng không?
Đây này. Đây.
166 106 69
9698
9698 166 106 166 106 9698.
Khéo nhập từ nãy
rồi,
có khi từ nãy là nhập sai
9698 đúng rồi.
Côn đi xem nào.
Sao phải côn hay là làm gì nữa anh? Em nhấn xong rồi.
Côn.
Ok, cộng fti.weback à?
This meeting is being recorded.
Không thì nó đi theo cái
Anh Bình thử show lên show screen lên
rồi.
lên nó sẽ lên trong bên này. Thử show.
Xe không đầy đủ không được gọi lấy ngoài cái gì rồi xe bảo lúc nãy nó lên đấy anh như nó xem cô được không
You hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hiện lên màn hình ấy hết rồi, bây giờ chỉ nghe xem không biết thầy có nghe thấy gì không? Thầy nhìn thấy thầy màn hình chat rồi. Nhưng mà chưa nghe thấy giọng thầy.
Can you hear me? Can you hear?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so shall we get started?
This one is not displayed. The note. Or just read from here. Okay.
Hello, Professor. What time is there?
It is now 3:16 p.m., so we are about 16 minutes late.
Okay.
But
Good for
actually,
them.
my connection was correct. Something was wrong on your end. Because when I was talking earlier, Miss Chi was able to hear me from home. Yeah, okay. I'm happy that the technology is not working.
Still, your side. I think your side voice is not clear. So sometimes it is disrupted now.
Let me put a professional mic here.
Okay. So you
I
have another professional.
Okay, it's very special.
Good.
Nó có cái ở đằng sau.
Hello. Could you try to use your new mic?
Give me one second.
Okay. Good.
Can you hear me now?
Right.
Yes.
Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better?
Yes. Yes.
It sounds better.
Okay, sounds really good. Okay, so the show begins, huh?
Okay.
Okay, so
Shall we start?
I'm watching.
Still.
Can we get started?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so who is doing the presentation?
We are all doing the presentation.
All of us.
All of us
I
are
am
doing the
waiting.
presentation.
Okay, Michael, we start. I think.
Yeah.
We start to introduce the project.
So I start, Professor.
Okay, very good.
Good evening, Professor, and good morning from Hanoi, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, in the COVID. Okay, as you know, in the COVID-19 pandemic, digital transformation is one of the effective tools to help business overcome difficulties, especially for small businesses. Good management of net working capital and other financial ratios such as inventory turnover and cash flow are vital to help the company develop sustainability. Modernized supply chain systems is to help NTP management and cash and inventory by the forecast system and other business areas. This week, Mr. Just Show Up, his ERP system has gone live. And after some months of implementation, today we are very happy to present what we have done in this project and recommend the further action plan in the next step. Here are the contents of our presentation today as follows. So we have the team and project introduction, approach method, case analysis, the solution that we're going to prepare to the case analysis, recommendation, and conclusion. Then we have an open discussion.
There's some echo.
After that, we propose the high level of solution, then provide the recommendation. I think there's noise from
Some noise there. Some echo.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Professor. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you very nicely.
But some echo.
We are getting a kind of feedback echo.
Okay, it's better now. It's gone.
Okay.
So we are DH consulting teams, and we will introduce the team member today. Mr. Bình is project manager and control the scope of work and quality of the team, and he support all the team member to finish our work. Mrs. Ha, she is in charge of purchasing process, and Michael, he will advise the sales and CRM process, and Mrs. Diệp, she perform accounting and financial process, and Minh will do the warehouse and inventory process. About the executive summaries, the practicum project is the platform for analysis and evaluation of NTP tech supply chain process, and we will perform to understand current process using tool and industry standard reference and best practice, and to assess business process and sub-process in current operations, and to raise business and roadmap and time frame to implementation of innovation through ERP solution, and to recommend to the management of NTP to implement the engineering of their supply chain structure and process. And about NTP company, let's have an overview about company. NTP, their name is Next to Your Life, established in 2017, and products are baby home technologies, and mainly distributed in Hanoi, Hải Phòng, Ho Chi Minh, Đồng Nai, and Bình Dương, 6 provinces from the north and the south of Vietnam. And we see a huge potential growth for this company. The current size is quite small with just 6 people, but they have potential growth in the near future. So the IT system should be ready for the sustainable growth in the next future. And the project scope of work to analyze the system and to cover almost supply chains process from planning to customer selling. And we concentrate on 4 main process of planning. The first one is planning and purchasing. The second is warehouse and inventories. And the third is CRM and sales. And the final one is very important, is the finance and accounting. And our objective is to find the best practice and roadmap to achieve the best possible practice, and to control the KPIs in each business process, and better by combining people, process, and system.
Okay, thank you, Minh.
In this project, we have several approaches to find the right solution for digital transformation in the small business. We did not name the method, but it is the most suitable way to apply to our project and it fits to our customer situation. And this is a standard supply chain model for commodity trading company. NTP is not an exception. They have own process for their business, from purchasing land, importing goods from the factory and carrying them into the central warehouse, and distributing goods to retailer stores, providing repair and warranty service for customers. All these processes are related to each other, and when combining with sub-process like accounting, marketing, and with the supporting system, they can make business run smoothly and effectively. Like other companies, NTP wants to gain more customers and increasing sales and profit. The main factors for trading company are brand name, product, and customer. This is one of the common ways which manager can build key process and combine them together based on sub-business process to create value in the eye of customers and therefore achieving their goals. For example, developing a customer management process may include customer service, policy, sales planning, operations standards, customer loyalty program, and service after sales. The most simple way we look at business activities is from what we have called input. After processing, we get output. And to achieve business goal, manager will often analyze not only the input, output activities in that process, but also the automation, the IT system management, what system supports that process. The example here is an overview of building a loyalty program requires customer database and others. And in here, the most important factor is the system support of CRM and ERP to reach the objective. When analyzing business process, we are not just talking about IT system, but also analyze risk to find out the way to control which certain objective and success factors to identify KPIs for result evaluation, cause of poor performance, and opportunities to change and improve process and make it better. For this project, we started to analyze the current NTP situation to find out the current supply process as well as the support of the IT system. Based on our experience, we have evaluated and benchmarked all the data we collect with a best practice process and continue to analyze fit and gaps. Found our opportunity to change and develop as well as implementation roadmap. And this is gap closing method we use throughout the project. It is an indicator of what is going on or issues, which is the current process, what company wants to change in the future, what are the gaps, and plans to change the gaps. By finding the answer for 5 questions here: what, where, when, who, and how. For each step from current circumstance to action, for action to close gaps, we could make important decisions about the future and how business needs to change. By analyzing the main business process at a high level, we saw the approach to have the company improve better in processing or activities to get outputs with the support of enterprise resources such as people, function, IT system. and under the business control such as procedure standards and performance management.
We would like to do the end. Yes.
So can I?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you? Okay. Is Professor is okay? Something to share before they go to analysis?
Actually, the purpose of the presentation is for you, so you have more. I think discussion is more important than the presentation itself.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, and thank you for your time. And the first, I'm happy, really honored to gather your consult, and every here is a subject matter expert with our company to understanding and finding the better model. And I totally agree about today. Mr. Michael said that it's coronavirus pandemic, and it give us some chance to open more business when we have ready to support the digital transformation. So we start from this one is March, right? This year March, and discuss, and our company gather your advice to start apply ELP, and finally we choose the O2 systems, and it's input the data from May, and finally is almost function is online and go live. And thank you for your effort. Before go there, then I want to explain what is our NTP. Do you know what is mean the NTP?
Okay.
So NTP means nothing to plus. So I mean that it doesn't mean it we want to be your best. It doesn't mean it we want to be the lowest. Nothing to plus, nothing to minus. So we want to make it adaptive that what we need in the market, because we are small. So, and that is our company name. So with technology, this is basically when we start and making our company name NTP. So, and I believe current situation is ELP is very good, and making our system company operation is better. Now, from last week, 1st of July, we stopped using Excel. So it's very, we couldn't expect it, but stopped using Excel. So it was very remarkable progress and with you guys. And still we have some challenges applying the system. So I will explain some challenges at the end of this class, this presentation, and give you some questions. Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can continue to present.
Of course.
Because actually we present this slide to you sometime already. And even this Friday we also present this to sort and discuss. We have brief you sort already, so we can go very fast, quick.
Okay.
And after that we have more time to discuss what is the next step. Because actually right now, Zot he applies the ERP system already. It means system online already. And then we expect we can advise more on the next step. But okay, anyway, we can continue to present what we have done and how we done, and we can continue very fast.
So for the time, because it is time for us to do the practicum, so we started the practicum some few months ago, and we assess at that time we assess the current situation of the company, and the clients have helped us with the current situation. So now for the up-to-date information we will discuss later, but I'd like to continue with the brief NTP case analysis with the 6 main content: supply chain, ASIS system, planning and purchasing, inventory warehouse, CRM and sales, and finance and accounting. For the supply chain processes, the company This process is also current now, apply now. The company imports from its mother country, Korean, and then from main location of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City and some big city in Vietnam, the company distribute to hospital locations and gift stores. This content is also remains the same with some major process in the system process, including purchasing and planning, warehouse and inventory, sales and CRM. Three main process gathered together into finance and accounting. Actually, where other time we assess the situation of the client hired outsourcing the financial and accounting, and up till now, the information is that it is manually controlled. For we would like to take some examples that the client helps us with the virtual example for the planning. Yeah.
You list
For the planning and purchasing current process, we take the virtual example of what is happening in the company. The company manages the order manually in the spreadsheet file like this. And this is very difficult to generate the planning and cash flow for management team. Yes. For the inventories and warehouse current assets, this is the same. We also achieve some examples, and it is report an example of a report of in and out of stock in Hanoi, and the client managed the daily inventory movement manually in practice price too, and the inventory is not centrally managed, and sometimes it leads to the late in time, and it takes time to update and carry. For CRM and sales, current success, it's also the same. For the content, the price, payment term, order, and delivery are also manually controlled. For accounting and finance, current at this time, it has not been done in software or go cloud like Visa, Fast of Travel, Bravo, professional accounting software, go online or resolve in cloud. Excel files are main evidence of accounting documents. For each process, based on specific metric with calculation and description method, we examine the client's current status, then give each current situation for each criteria a rating with benchmark, and then give them comments and best practice. This is also comments and best practice, and whether apply or not, and whether to choose the levels of maturity or levels of development is up to the client. This is the basis for solution and later in later section. For planning and purchasing, let's set a criteria of purchasing order planning time with average time spent on the forecast. At NTD, the client reviews separated data from various source paperwork, and then we would like to propose the best practice is to use intelligent system with integrated data. For inventory metric, which is criteria like inventory information, inventory turnover, inventory cost. We work with clients and give the rating mostly in B. B means below average benchmark, and some in A, between the average. So we also recommend the best practice to centralize the inventory system, online tracking, perform automatic calculation and reservations to reduce cost. For sales metric comments, with the same method, we choose the criteria like order cycle time, like fill rate, online order rate, etc. We achieve 1L better than leading benchmark 3A and 3B. And the comments are to limit traveling times to warehouse location or to increase awareness and aggressive online campaigns. For financial metric comments, we also compare the current financial ratio of the clients with the average benchmark of over 200 emerging markets. The data is sourced from Demerara from New York University, and we calculate by hand from the FX of the clients. So our finding is only, so look at the figure, you can see the difference between the ratio of the clients and the average benchmark of similar peers in emerging markets, and the client should focus to improve the cost of goods sold over sales ratio and the inventory over sales ratio. So especially for the inventory over sales ratio, it's much higher than the average benchmark of 5%. For current status analysis, we do it with 5 main points: the policy, the process and procedure, the people and organizations, the performance management, and technology enablers, the strategies also. Yes.
Could you go back to previous slide?
Yes.
We have this in the long version.
Okay.
Yes.
I sent to you already.
Okay. So.
Yes, this is there is details at the about on the first slide is the source of the information. Yeah, it's from America, so. Yeah.
The inventory ratio is we got too many inventory then compare their sales.
Yeah.
Is it mean right? So the retail market, if it is wholesale, if we consider wholesale, so wholesale usually they wholesale order, you know, at least MOQ some certain amount of goods to import in here with a very low price and distribute it into the market to get a better margin. So then I'm consider if you think about retail business is 5% of inventory over sales is I want to ask you again to check, because a wholesale business wholesalers should have some inventory, and it's because we know whenever we order, our operating cycle is more than 3 months, around 3 months. So from we order and manufacture and shipping to our Vietnam to arrive the warehouses takes 2 months. So that if it is applied, then 5% is quite yeah, very super.
I understand.
Sure, yeah. So and yeah. Also, I'm thinking about, because it makes a very high net working capital for me. So I'm how I need to manage that one to reduce the operating cycle or cash conversion cycle. This is very hard. Is some need some more high level consulting, some professional consulting for that. But almost the wholesaler and retailer who has their inventory, and I mean purchase is not a consignment. So purchase cases could be higher than 5%. That's my point. So please I hope to get once more to review together for that.
Yeah.
I think the number maybe 200% is not correct, but I think you can improve better.
Of course. You know, I know that Apple's the inventory turnover is about 5. 72, about 72. So I mean their inventory turnover is just 2 weeks more than, so another 2 weeks, 5 days. Around the 5 days their inventory turnover. So then, but you know, there's a lot of supplier, they are ready to provide that inventory. then this is my big challenge that I want to discuss with you, get a more feedback.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to add that this is the online business, and the figures now basing on the documents you supply to us, because because the documents is supplied to us is not completed.
Yeah,
for
right,
the
right.
whole year.
He means that
Yeah.
5% is for.
No, it's
Okay.
online
Online.
business. It's online business.
Yeah, right.
And I calculated from all the documents you supplied to me, and it covers for 3 months. And I generalize it for 1 year.
Right.
Yeah.
It is very significant point to let me review my business again. But
Yeah.
also that if we directly compare with the retail online business only, this could be little gap with our business.
Yes,
now.
yes, I understand.
Right.
But we can provide you a source of information so you can compare the benchmarking of your company to the. It's not right or wrong, good or bad, but just the compare of the current situation of the company with
Right.
the average ratio of over 200 companies, what they are doing.
Okay.
So
Great.
it may be it is better for your company, but no right or wrong here.
Okay. So I want to know that how we can calculate that inventory sales ratio in ERP system.
Yeah, yeah. It will automatically calculate
I
for
think
you.
Right.
next way, because later we will show you the total architecture in the module you have
Okay.
now, and you should have in the future. And
Right,
you
right.
will have all the financial ratio here.
Right. That's business intelligence you need to calculate
Yes,
like that. Okay. Great.
Yes. I'd like to continue with the next slide. The current analysis is done with the 5 main contents. So from the from 5 criteria, we have we compare the current state with the target state, and we reach the conclusions of different status for each criteria. One leading point of strategy, one performing point of people and organization, and the performance management has problems of limited strategic and performance management and lack of agreed to performance indicators. The target business KPI measure operational and sales performance to make it right and quick decisions. So the target state we propose that, but whether to agree with the target state or not is up to the client. But the target state is better than the current state. Gap analysis helps to identify the key areas to improve and make decisions. From current state, the client wishing future state, we find the gap and action to close the gap. For manual method with our advanced analysis for decision making, so we propose the action is ERP solution, automate process and business data analysis. For changing Excel to file to automate to cloud. So we propose to apply new process with new IT system. It's supporting from the consulting team. So the next line and the next part, please, Mr. Bing, help us to continue.
Okay, I think actually he understands very well everything on that day, so I try to move on.
Yeah.
Basically, if it is the ERP system, so our solution is that to apply the ERP IT system in each business process of the company. And here you can see when we apply the system, we normally we have the main objective a new system. That is a combination of factor includes organization, process, risk control, people, system, and management. That's not only the system. We change the system does not mean we apply the new system only. We should think about the organization, process, and something like that. And one of the goal is centralized management of the database so that it can control the process, provide accurate current data quickly, and make the future prediction. And from there, the company management can make appropriate and timely decisions. And this factor will have an impact
and close relationship with each other in building a new information system. That is our advice to use a centralized system. And then NTP will have the opportunity to manage the process. Everything process is automated and have more control. And of course, you can control the inventory sale easier, and especially the financial reporting system, and can minimize the risk. And the way we do is that we will have all the modules for each department connect together. And here is the supply chain routed from the purchasing department, and then this department will connect to warehouse, sale, and cutting. And after that, we have the inventory information. You can see connect to the we have inventory information for sale and for purchasing to do the planning forecast, and also for the cutting department to check the receivable information. And same with the sales department, they will have the inventory information and customer information managed centrally in one system. Of course, we have the policy connect with the cutting finance and to manage the receivable. Finally, we will have the last place actually to receive all information from PS module. It's automatically recorded via the predefined rule. It means that you may not need more accountant in your company in the future if your company grow, because everything automated and we have the predefined, and even the accountant they don't have the accounting knowledge, they can use the system. And the case study we have in the first of this project, we have the Mazda and Ford, and of course in my customer, that is the Vinmart. They have about 400 accountants before we implement the stream matching and buying integration, because they have the AR module to every accountant at the store. They check manually the invoice from vendor. At that time, everything manually. But after we apply the ERP and the buying integration system, so they need only 10 accountants sit in the central office, and after that they have the 3 matching documents: match, purchase order, purchase receipt, and the invoice. And after that,
Could you say again?
That is
3 matching.
Invoice control. We have 3 matching.
3 matching.
Yes, 3 matching to check the purchase order, purchase receipt at the warehouse, vendor invoice from the supplier, and system will know all the documents should be matched, and after that system automatic transfer the payable to the bank. And then
the purchasing order, the vendor invoice, and
purchase receipt.
Purchase receipt, okay.
Yes. And that is the case study, so you can understand that if you have the integrated system, so the financial department can reduce the accountant in the future if your business grow more. And that is the way we apply here. And here is the concept when we analyze the detailed business process. Actually, we analyze at the high level only.
Okay.
If we do the ERP project, at least we have 3 levels to know what is the input, output, and expected results. And within this scope, we present the high level only. But normally, we need to manage the whole purchase process first. For example, you need to know which function you need to manage in the purchase department, and what is the flow from the purchase department and to the warehouse. And at the end of month, you should have some data synchronized and run the report. And here we assume that you will have the auto system to manage everything, and you also need the external system like the 3PL, and maybe if you want to have more dashboard and KPI to manage, you can use the raw data later. And the same, similarly, you also can manage warehouse inventory centrally on the Odoo ERP system, and you can manage on inbound. The most challenging we will talk later, that is the integration with the 3PL. And of course, the same concept for the sales process. We can manage from the sales process with many sales CRM function, and also the sales order, which sales return process, manage the shipment, and at the end of the day, we transfer to the accounting system. This is the total solution. I think you have time, you can get later, but that is a basic concept we can apply. Now, I think we save more time to the recommendation and we can discuss the total architect overview. After we have the last meeting with you in this Friday, and now I think it's a turn. Michael,
This, from the previous slide, we said recommendation and conclusion. So this is the concluding part of our project and what we want to recommend to NTP. And we look at this NTP architecture overview. We have the HR, the Vietnamese account system package, omni-channel, inventory management, reports, BI, sales, and CRM. Is a kind of special architecture that, if well implemented, will give a lot of advantage and benefit to NTP.
Okay, from here, I just want to add on more information that they manage everything in online. That is the Odoo ERP. In the box, you can see you have everything except the VS package and BI.
Yes.
You have not yet, but you have almost purchase, sale, inventory, and the part of the e-commerce. And the next plan, I think you will focus on the integration between the warehouse and online sales, something like that. That is the total architecture.
So here we have the implementation roadmap. The whole roadmap has been divided into 4 phases. The phase 1 is purchase, inventory, sales, and basic accounting. And we also have the second phase, which is advanced accounting and localized VAT and e-invoice. The third phase is business intelligence, the KPI, and dashboard. And lastly, the integration with third parties, the logistic company, the web store, social selling, third party logistic, bank integration, because I think Mr. Josh is particular about bank integration, and it's part of the last phase of this implementation roadmap. So far, he has done, like Mr. Bean said, he has done most of the implementation using Odoo ERP system, and he has achieved a lot of progress in the process of implementation. So the integration are part of things that will give him some challenge that may come in the process of full implementation.
Actually, in our original plan, when we discussed with Josh, we advise him to follow step by step. It means that he can start with the sale and inventory, very basic first. But this week we are very surprised that he applied everything already on the ERP system, and only the localized financial package required by Minister of Finance, he continued to check manually with outsourced team. And maybe by the end of this month or at least next year, he will use full localized VS system inside the Odoo ERP. And the next way, I think you should focus on the KPI management, like the financial ratio, how to manage, and from that you will use an overview. Because the ERP system will provide you the process to help the user only to control the process. But in terms of the management view, you need to see the overview from the report, from the dashboard, what is the risk, what is the opportunity. And by that way, you can see more opportunity and the risk to control. And of course, if you can implement more integrated, you will have more opportunity to use the manual work in the future. And next is some timeline that is just updated.
Yeah, for the timeline, if you look at the timeline, there's a circle, which is the critical part of the process implementation. And looking at it from today's point, he has already achieved most of the phases which we discussed. So continuation of the timeline investment roadmap, the timeline allocated specific period for the execution of the investment from phase 1 to the last phase. If implemented from May to 2020, will progress to late March 2021. So it may last, the whole process may last the next year, March. Now, system has gone live in the Odoo, and the team is checking data between ERP and Vietnamese accounting system reports. System to make sure both data system is matched. And when we look at it, it corresponds with the previous slide when we explain all the roadmaps and the process so far achieved can be seen better from the timeline. So he has achieved most of the objectives so far, and by next week, he promised that the accounting system will also go online and reduce the use of Excel and have a better ERP system, which is a better digital transformation from assist to the present condition.
Okay, next, Michael can present something about the cost calculation and give more picture for us.
Yeah, alternative choice of ERP technology from Odoo is Microsoft Dynamics 365. We don't want to focus only on Odoo. We also want to look at other options that are similar to Odoo. And in this case, we look at Microsoft Dynamics 365. They have different pricing and different solutions. And the highest we have here is $100 per user and $70 per user, and the lowest is $8 per user. So this gives us an idea that with the choice of taking Odoo, we can use this to compare with. And looking at Odoo pricing, Odoo ERP technology pricing is quite cheaper compared to Microsoft Dynamics 365 and other similar ERP platforms. So making the choice of using Odoo is not wrong. And Odoo system is almost free for some of their processes and add-on. Not completely free, but almost free, depending on the processes and add-on that is going to choose on them. And this is our budget, our investment budget for the project itself. The capex, we look at license fee for about $14,000, and we look at which is part of our capex. And OPEX, we look at annual consulting fee and training costs, which will have to be done because Mr. Josh has to train other people. He himself has to get updated in the training process. And we also look at hidden costs, hidden expenses, third-party logistics, customer data platform integration. Because of the last phase of the project, which is integration with third party, there may be some hidden costs or change in cost. So those are areas that you need to look at, and the total cost may increase 5 times the initial budget. This is a general belief in project management. So he has to plan and brace up for possibility of increase in price or cost of execution.
Actually, some months ago, I heard that if God do alone everything, so I'm very surprised, and I don't think you can do everything. But after that, God say you invest more in license and you have the consulting company to support you. So I believe that because you have support team, and then that is one of the most important things to help you to run this project run live successfully. Okay, but we see a lot of the risk, the potential risk.
Okay.
I think we can discuss how to minimize the risk in the future. Right now, I don't see any risk, but maybe in the future when you have more integrated systems or business will grow more. You have now about 300 transactions per month. That's small. But what if you have 2,000 or 1 million transactions per month? Very difficult to manage in terms of the complex of the system, in terms of the resource. We don't have any IT guy now, something like that. So I think Michael can give something in the risk and how to control the risk.
So we look at the risk which threatens the objective of this whole project and Mr. Josh business. The NTP resource constraint impact. The constraint impact is that he has limited number of staff, and by the time he starts implementing this, the fatigue of doing too much will start coming in. Those are some of the risks because he's the only person that is controlling the whole operation for now. And then there are risks that come from free open source systems, which cannot handle all the requirements or software bug. We believe that nothing is free. Whatever it is given to you freely, there will be a way they want to take something back from you. So we believe that you need to be careful with any open source or free offer for his business. Inadequate data quality from customer data. If we don't get quality data and from the customer, and the execution of those data is very, very important because data is everything in digital transformation. Whatever you do through digital transformation and you don't have a good data, whatever you put in is what you get from it. Then the risk of extended project schedule. I think for this, Josh has performed very well. He has achieved most of those areas, but for the other next phases that are coming up, we look at the risk of timing and especially for integration with third party, because it can be resourceful. What about the third party? The third party may not be as resourceful and as efficient as Josh is. Request to change major procedure from initially agreed process. This can slow the process down, and it's a very big risk. When the whole process is almost completed, and you realize that your process and all your operational KPIs are not what you should do, you need to start afresh again, which is going to affect the whole process. Control link to risk. What are the control links to risk? We should ask ourselves, what are those control links to the risk? Ability to assign role and responsibility of team member. How do we assign role and responsibility to team member as we progress in the implementation of this digital transformation? Establishing a clear scope of work and expectation for any integration. Emphasis on training and practice for project team. We can control all these risks if we emphasize on training and practice of project team. Mr. Josh is the project manager, is the project team, and some other, and the third party. So it is easier for him to do that now, but when he has a bigger team, he will need to look at all these points to be able to do a better control. Identify structured and unstructured data and measure to control. Swift decision making will also have help to control the risk involved. Ability to limit changes towards business completion. User acceptance testing before and after project. This user acceptance testing, because Mr. Josh is implementing the process himself. He's the boss and is also the customer to himself for now. So the user acceptance testing is not critical to him, but if he has employed the services of a consultant, he will have to use this measure to be able to assess whether the whole structure and the whole process is done accurately as specified in the project timeline and project process itself. Yeah. Finally, this is the conclusion from our DX Consulting, and the scope of this project is limited to NTP Tech Company based on the information and qualitative interview conducted. Everything we have done here is based on the information we have received so far, so it's limited to those number of information we are able to extract from the management. Specific templates for the approach and methods from industry standard. We have used specific approach and tried to use industry standard to measure and quantify how the performance of NTP is. Key and high level process diagram sample contained in this project. We have done a lot of templates, we have done a lot of process diagram, and all those diagram and all those process mapping, they are going to be a kind of KPI for him to be able to use as a reference to check and also monitor the progress of his business. Digital transformation and implementation roadmap. Financial and accounting process transformation. This is an area which he is so interested about, and this is an area that we have also been able to put so much into and see how we can help and make the whole process viable for him. Use data and market intelligence and implementing good risk management technique. By using data and market intelligence information, he can use that to reduce risk management in his business. And this recommendation is in the context of this analytical report. So we are limited to the information we have, and those are the information we use to analyze, also to recommend, and at the same time to advise him on the next step. Open discussion.
Yes, I think we have, how long we have? How much we have now?
Don't worry.
We actually the next meeting starts at 4:30, so we have about 15 minutes.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Also, I need to give some time to get our big professor to consult us.
Yes, yes.
I learned many things from this consulting, and three matching today is very impressive to understand, and I need to manage it. So after not only this digital transformation, but also running my business is officially around 1 year, not exactly 1 year, but it's going to 1 year. So I figured it out that I have 3 different main system components on my business. First is sales and marketing. Second is supply chain management. Third is the customer services. So all well managed, and I have 2 more subsystem is financing support and HR. This is what I understand that my business, how I need to balance between five components. And also during my business for wholesale business in Vietnam, still a lot of chance, but most challenging thing is the networking capital. So cash flow. So in cash flow keep increasing, business increasing, cash flow, networking capital will keep increasing. That money is there with all inventory to provide it. So then how I need to find a way to solve this problem. For example, then my idea now, these days a lot of business model like direct to customer. So there's some supplier, they want to provide the product direct to customer. So we just provide it supply chain and helping them to sell the product in Vietnam, so we can reduce my profit or so net working capital. Such a kind of business strategy also want to get from this this consulting. So management point, every company, their management, they consider that how I can make my business grow up and safely and reduces the cost. So this is the key point. We keep discussing, keep get a point with discussing with the manager. And then, okay, to do that, this is why we need to do. And here is the solution. So solution should not become first. First always should come why. So that why is depends on that management characteristics. What management considers the first target for their company. So if we keep matching and discussing with the consulting and the management together, consulting could be. So some challenge I have now, inventory turnover rate and cash conversion cycle, that is challenging, and I need to manage it now. Then actually I expect a lot from ERP system to help me decision making. But when I implement it, most difficult thing is that I cannot input historical data. If I couldn't put that historical data, the system cannot generate some comprehensive report to help me. So I need to then when I work with Odoo, I need to put in some current data, and there is no way to make it. There is a way, but very difficult to put that historical data, because all historical data now well formatted to put into the data system. So but if management understand that some ERP system can help within 1 month to put it some historical data to show me what is your performance this last 1 year. So it's very valuable things to let me keep going to the digital transformation and invest the money for that. But I need to keep, now I need to put it information, and I expect to get some data that time by time manner, then maybe 3 months later, 1 quarter data, and 6 months later, then half year data.
How many months come back you want to?
At least 6 months this year fully from January. And I'm planning to put it all information, but it's not easy. Then
you need another forecast tool.
Right.
The forecast tool can combine another history data
right.
with the current data. And
so, but anyway, it is very important to provide that
actually,
information.
I am doing that tool with Steve.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
That is one of the solution to provide any ERP or the software. They don't have that tool. So
right. That's a very good idea. So without it, suddenly the ERP system came and you cannot see it. Management to put the money, but I want to see something, but nothing to see. Then please input data well. It's not easy, and still difficulty to connect with integration with the bank and tax system is still separated, and somehow we have to manage it by manual. Then the consulting is better to explain. Of course, we have to accept some marginal error, something manual things we still need to manage it. Then, but how to use the best practice you could manage it, then I can guide you. Then this is a way you can manage it by manually, then compare with ERP system and tax system, then until the old system can integrate, but old system can integrate it maybe takes a couple of years. The bank also. So I'm working for retail business still. A lot of retailers, they pay whenever they have money. Whenever they have the pocket in the money, they pay to me. So we don't know that what relate with what kind of
You
invoice
you
that,
have to
right?
wait to manage that payment. In ERP system, they have some method like apply to the audit document
Okay,
or apply one by one document.
okay.
So in that case, you don't have to pay for what document. You can apply automatically by the audit document.
But AL is important thing that to manage my cash flow, right? So I need to know who paid, who didn't pay, and where is the AL. But they pay, suddenly I pay all yesterday, well, last week. But they paid them maybe 30%, 40%, remaining 30%, all separately. They no notify to me. So, and I don't know, sometimes they pay this account, sometimes they pay this account, different account.
Very complicated.
Yeah, so it's very complicated to manage it. So it's all manually need to check it. So far, because the retailer, dropshipper, they don't care about banks. They don't want to do using the tax system. Dropshipper, a lot of dropshipper in Vietnam. So it is another challenge that I need to manage that one. And there is a lot of official and unofficial inventory. Official inventory and unofficial inventory, supplier, they provide a free of samples. Sometimes we sell it. Sometimes we need to use it for repair.
Yes.
So then repair system need to connect with the ELP. Then suddenly some inventories, unofficial inventory happen, and making a problem.
If you have the barcode to manage that, so I mean when you ship, you need to scan the barcode.
Yeah, retail system is not yet to allow the barcode system. Then retailer that the drop shipper, they do not use the barcode.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we ask the barcode to use it in our fulfillment company, the price will increase more, right? So this is also typically a bit difficult to go to manage that system. So, and most important thing for me to change the digital transformation in ELP, change the communication way. The communication method, I keep asking, please don't use Jalo in office. Don't use Jalo in office. Whenever you communicate with the purchase team and the sales team and the inventory and supply chain inventory management team, please put it all communication into the ELP. So then that communication should track to make it, and our management don't need to ask them again that what's the status of that. So, but people, you know that people naturally they keep using that most convenient tools.
That's why I told you when you apply the IT system does not mean you install the new system. You also change the process.
Right.
Change from the old way to the new way of communication.
Most difficult thing that change the communication way. So the ELP system should provide a very good communication tools. But Odoo is not very good, and people need to log into the web to put the information there. For example, today customer want to change the color of product, customer want to order more product, customer want to cancel the product. I said, don't talk. Don't talk. Then if you talk it, and I can listen your Vietnamese. So, and please put it every information to the system. Just I'm pushing them even CRM. Then 1 month ago I discussed with them, say how many customers they are intend to order. So yesterday I didn't ask. I see that CRM how many opportunity there. So I put it my idea and cheer up the people's. Then this customer, we have to get it. This customer is maybe, then we are discussing like that, everything on system. But it makes our office atmosphere is very, strict. This is another consideration. Now, how I need to make our office environment with some smooth. But if I allow that people talk well, but very, very communicate well, and they easy to talk at suddenly they notify to the purchase team and they cancel. They don't no record there. Then forget the information. So it is something balance I'm doing now, and we are going to integrate with Zalo system with our ELP. Then I'm trying to find a way to integrate Zalo to make a promotion business. And some request I have and how transaction. You said the transaction we have 300 transactions now per month. Very small, transactions. But how transaction are other company? How much transaction is other company? For example, you said your experience.
It depends on the not scope, on the wholesale or retail.
Okay.
You will focus later.
Okay.
If later you focus on online and you will have more chances.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And example for one retail store, maybe one day they have 200 transactions.
Mm-hmm.
But because they have 10,000 of SKU, but you now you have only less than 10 SKU. Depend on the SKU. Maybe in future you have a new business strategy. You will open more SKU, something like that.
Okay.
Not only the big product, maybe own kind of the baby product.
Previously, you have concerns about the inventory and the cash.
Okay.
So for the cash conversion cycle, just the in general way, not really relating to digital or ERP system. So you can improve the cash conversion cycle by some way that you can ask me to give bank loan to improve your cash. So that's the first one. The second is you improve the account payable and account receivable. For account payable, you can work with your clients, right, in Korea. And if you have enough fresh fish and they have believed on you, so you can have a cooperation and share some of the profit for them, so that they can help you to increase the purchase on credit.
This is a very important thing that I'm considering to move like that.
Yeah.
Then we need some strong
agreement.
Sponsor and sponsor with agreement with the bank. That's why I'm asking you that next step. So far, our main customer is the retailers, big retailers, the online based, not offline based. Kids Plaza and the Vivomart is offline based retailers. I'm focusing online based retailer a lot. But retailers, their buying power is very good, and the bargaining power is not, because there is a Chinese product that happen. Then Chinese product is very competitive to work with us now. So next items, now we already set up and understanding online retail business now, and we are transferring to go to the open markets, directly sell to the customer, because that's why we try to make our brand last 1 year. Then its brand is a part is work, so we will prepare to go online, open market and consignment with drop shipping. So to go like that, we are integrated with Tiki, Shopee over Odoo, Tiki and Shopee, and keep box and drop box me for fulfillment. So this is next item. I keep want to communicate with you to how to integrate this one and well, and among that business intelligence, how we can develop it to see that every business ratio and finance ratio and performance ratio, to see to make it the dashboard. So my final request to you then, what kind of dashboard is the best for each position? For example, inventory manager, what dashboard is better for them? For me, what kind of dashboard is good? And accountant, what kind of dashboard is good for them? So each department, they have to have the dashboard, then they understand it. If dashboard shows some running, then they need to make it immediately discuss with management. So still, I couldn't make some example of dashboards. So what kind of information they need to focus? Just they can input the information and run the system, but it's not yet to understand the system display or provide the data to understand the making of some their insight. So now system is work and we want to make it dashboard, and from dashboard each department people should make their insight to discuss with me, with the management. So that is one thing. So we want to ask you.
In future, you can decide by the role something like this is all
Right.
financial information, P&L format,
Okay.
something like this, cash management.
Okay.
You can manipulate everything in the Google Data Studio. That is a free version.
Really. Really.
But
Okay.
you need to extract the data from Odoo system.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And here we buy on example. This is for sales role. The sales role, they need to know the top sales, top customers by customer who provide the most profit
Right.
and sales, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
That is the example we designed by the role.
So Odoo cannot support like that.
Yes, this,
So
you need to export. I don't know how Odoo can support you, but maybe it has a BI system. But I mean, maybe this year you can apply some basic dashboard in the Google Data Studio.
Okay.
By exporting some the data you have.
Okay.
And then you can design.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah, and for your concern for inventory issues, you have 5 issues, and Mr. Big have already settled 3 issues, and the last one is inventory. So I think it's not a very big concern because due to COVID-19, most of the companies have problems with the issues because it's due to the general economic situation. However, to settle this situation, you can consider how to improve your customer client database and then make a sale on credit for them with appropriate marketing campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Wow, it's almost done.
Very, very good. Actually, we are running out of time a little bit, but actually, when we did that project with this team, I told them that even in the US, 80% of the attempt to implement ERP actually failed. And this is actually, I'm very happy about this project because not only the team has done a very detailed and clean analysis, but that the client, which is Mr. Park, has already started and implemented the project. So this is actually a major accomplishment. So we belong to the 20% as opposed to the 80%. So which is actually now it goes up to 21 and 79. But so this is actually quite good. I am also very happy that the client, which is Mr. Park, really understand the benefit and the difficulties of implementing such a system. The idea is to start improving the efficiency and now going up to the effectiveness. And I heard you meant, so you need to have clean data, you need to have the employees participating into the system, and the leadership is also very important here because you mentioned to your employees that you need to use the system and you need to put communication in the system. So I think all these things are also part of the critical success factors of making the system successful. And then you also talk about the BI thing. So eventually in the near future, the system has all the business intelligence based on your leadership skills and vision. And to me, at the end of the day, in 3 or 4 years, if the system is implemented properly, the value of your company might be really, really high. and you might be able to sell the company to somebody else and do something else. So
Thank you.
very good. This is quite a very good project.
Thank
Okay.
you.
This is what I am doing for SIP company. I cooperate with in design.
Okay, we will discuss separately then. I hope.
You can see the yesterday.
Right. Very good. Okay,
Yeah, but
good.
before we leave, Mr. Park,
Yeah.
actually, when I was listening to you commenting about the application, and you discussed quite a bit some very practical, real problems, the reality of implementing ERP in a developing economy like Vietnam. And probably I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about writing probably a small article on what would be the requirements in order to implement successfully a ERP CRM system in a country like Vietnam. You mentioned about issues in communications. You mentioned about the issue of double accounting system. You
Okay.
mentioned about how to deal with the quality of data. So all of these issues actually are quite interesting. But then there are also some benefits that I've seen in this project. You managed to use a lot of tools and that are very inexpensive, and also the labor for programming in Vietnam is so low. So not only we have some challenges there, but we also have a lot of opportunities to make ERP implementation in a developing economies very successful.
Right.
So I think we should talk a little bit about that. So that might help.
Yeah, of course. I already discussed with Chung Jung for that. So I want to replicate my experience to the many retails, so the wholesaler who wanna set up a wholesale in Vietnam, because retail businesses keep growing in Vietnam. So a lot of Korea or foreigners, they wanna set up a wholesale business in here. So they will face the same things. So we want to make it that this is one of the templates to copy and redo it, not only for our system, but also include that integration with the 3PL and fulfillment and open market, all packaged to link it together to provide it that kind of consult or the platform.
Very good. So congratulations to both the client and also the consulting team.
Thank you, Professor.
Total count.
Đấy, em đứng sang bên này.
Love first.
Mình đứng ở đây cho nó tại vì em mày thấp hơn thì đứng ở đây cho nó nhìn. Không, việc mày thấp hơn thì đứng như nó, tại vì cho bằng cái đầu của thầy, kéo cho bằng cái đầu của thầy. Đây dưới thôi. Ồ, rơi à? Ồ.
3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, aloha again.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
One more. You should use two hands.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you for the
Thank you. Congratulations.
Hey, please, you need to test. I need to prepare. Okay, thank you very much.
I think now you just connect plus HDMI to open the
Phan bảo thầy sẽ phải take away về cái đấy mà.
Tôi vẫn đang ghi âm đấy, đừng nói.
Có nghĩa là mình không phải mở đường link mà cái meeting này là mở link từ cái hệ thống ở đây, đánh cái đầu như thế là bị phát hàng thế.
Nhóm sau là nhóm nào ạ?
Đấy. Where is your team?
I don't know.
Mọi người ra gọi team của Thoát đi, họ không biết.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Mr. Bean. Two very important questions.
No. We finished already. You are late.
Xong rồi.
Long time no see.
How are you, sir?
Michael.
No, it's not mine.
Really? Bill.
How are you? Very long time. Hello, sir. And good luck to you.
No, anh chưa đi cả. Anh có đi cả.
Yes.
Không phải, anh chỉ biểu hiện ngoài về thuốc thôi, anh uống thôi. Thì nó bình thường.
Come on, you look.
Chị đang bảo cái thằng này nó lo lắng bây giờ anh không phải lo lắng. Không biết mà nó cuộn này.
Đấy là đại đặc.
Can you ask already discussed how to connect?
Okay, I ask one.
Okay.
We connected already.
Mm-hmm.
You got display here. I think ready on.
Okay. Cảm ơn Minh nha. Lần nữa. That's the only big one. Yes. Remember, baby.
Why not come here and give flower to Daddy?
No. Going to do something again.
He waiting when PhD.
Sao không vào đi, phải đứng ở ngoài làm gì? Open mà.
Myself and my boss. Yeah. Okay.
Ai được ngồi giữa.
Được, cô đi. Hai bên giữa, đấy, anh ngồi ở cạnh góc này.
Áo mà đâu kia, cởi áo.
Ngoài kia có standing này không anh?
Có mang ra.
Mang ra đi anh.
Rồi mang ra đi để làm phiền nhóm khác người ta còn đã hồi hộp ở trong thời gian.
Mời mang đấy anh.
No, I don't have.
Hôm nay là trong chủ tịch đấy. Chủ tịch đấy.
Đấy em cũng đang ngồi đây để cố gắng phấn đấu. Trước được.
Could you explain to Professor that our client is waiting and he is connecting up?
Ở đây đang
Waiting for Mr. Tiến.
Okay. To connect.
Yeah.
Professor, good morning.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Cái này yes. NDC Savian. Professor, so our customer, Savian Distribution CEO, Mr. Tiến, he is connecting to the network. So please wait a minute. We are inviting him to the online conference.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
You guys sleep well?
Quite well. How are you? Asleep?
I don't know where am I.
đợi một phút nhé. Đợi một phút để collect xong. Hai người là cái anh có hai chỉ có rồi. Anh ngồi rồi, đây anh sẽ gửi cho cái tiếng này.
Professor, can you see our screen?
Yes, I can see audio and video are all good.
Okay, just waiting for our client. Please have a talk. Hello. Hello, Mr. Tien.
Alo anh Tiến, Tiến có nghe bọn em ạ?
You don't understand. Let's understand English.
Gọi điện đi, gọi điện hỏi.
Are you guys ready?
We are trying to connect to Mr. Tiến. We see that he is online here, but it seems like he cannot hear us.
Call đi.
Yeah, I can see him online, but
Yes, we are trying to calling him.
Có nghe không? Hỏi luôn có nghe không? Có nghe. Và nói vài câu đó thì để cho mọi người nghe thấy. Thì có thấy mọi người nói chuyện á. Đang mạng đã có lấy gì? Họ đang nhìn rồi chưa nghe tiếng. Quên mất thế này, này ra phải connect thử trước. Ở đây thì nó có cái hệ thống luôn không sao. Biết mọi người đang tự sướng chụp ảnh rồi.
Tôi nghe rõ không?
Có rồi.
Tiến lên. Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Tiến.
Good morning anh chị em.
Professor Tùng. Yeah, we now yes, we can start.
okay, I'm ready. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning thầy Tùng.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Tien. How are you? Long time no hear.
Yeah, I'm okay. Long time no see. How about you?
I'm busy, like you. I can't wait I can't wait that we can have a vaccine so that I can fly back to Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear about what this team can or has done. We can start.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor.
Thank you, Professor, and thank you, Mr. Tiến, to spend time to joining us today.
First of all, on behalf of EcoHub Consulting team, I'd like to thank our client, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Tiến, the CEO of Savient Distribution Company, SDC, who has joined this presentation online. Also, we'd like to express our deep appreciation to Professor Phùng Bùi and Professor Trung Dũng, who have guided and given us a lot of useful recommendations during project. In our talk today, we propose a sustainable business model for SCC, which is particular interest to those of you who care about environment and the future of our next generation. As you can see on the screen, we propose, as you can see on the screen, our presentation can be divided into the four main parts. The first part is executive summary. The second part is about our client, SCC. The next part is about the market opportunities and challenges analysis. And finally, EcoHub proposal, as well as some feedback and answers. Now our PM, Ms. Park, will be delighted to share with you some brief information of our concept and our team.
Thank you, Mr. Tien and Savient Distribution Company. And today we are welcome to explain and our long run understanding Savient distribution and Vietnamese market. And I want to say something like you deserve better. Here is this context is you is mean that our generation, next generation, planet, and Savient distribution. So all of you deserve better. Then this proposal draws the attention of the fact of plastic pollution in our planet, during this speech, 1 million plastic boxes or bags per minute is used and wasted now. Eventually, it went to our ocean. So in Vietnam, it's very big oceans, and moreover, between 8 to 12 million tons of plastic is dumped into the sea every year. This year, we faced the coronavirus pandemic. It is worsening to increase usage of single-use plastic, especially in the food delivery area. So then we recommend that how and why Savient Distribution could build a sustainable business model of a biodegradable product food container with eco-friendly brand value chain strategy in Vietnamese market. So this is today we will propose you and that can help your business to sustain. Okay, so what we have here is we have teams of 5 subject matter experts. I'm Josh Park, and Mr. Chung. Mr. Chung is the OPEC plastic and specialist for the finance. And also we have another specialist finance from bank sectors, Ms. Teng, and Mr. Hai came from strategic specialist from the Binmec International Hospital, and Mr. Bien is also strategic for sales from GMAS company. So our mission and goals, and we have internal mission and our external goals, and contribute. Our internal mission not only Savient Distribution, but also our planet contribute to the environment protection. And internally, we want to design and brainstorming and apply innovation idea into the real business, and boost our client success with the effective consulting solutions. And goal: increase client market position. Position means not only for the profit and revenue, but also market position for value. And learn from the teamwork. It is our goals. So thank you for summary and executive summary. And before start that Savient Distribution, Mr. Tien, if you have something that hope to listen from you.
Sorry?
If you have something to comment before we start to go to the
please.
Distribution, we are pleased to listen.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, we will go ahead.
And you can interrupt us anytime.
Okay.
For any question that in your mind.
Yeah. I will introduce you a little bit about our partner, Savient Distribution Company, we call SDC. SDC is a member of Savient Group. Savient means that is a star of Vietnam. Savient aims to be a world-scale multi-sector and multinational company, and they want to satisfy customer with a superior quality product with a highly professional level and a reasonable price. SDC now have over 150 staff with 10 brands around Vietnam, and they govern general trade channel in on 60 provinces in Vietnam, and they have a lot of big customers here. For example, we see in the screen, SDC now present at Vinmart, Coop Mart or Lotte Mart, very big supermarket in Vietnam. SDC now have more than 1,000 products, and all of them are standard certificate. And as you can see, Savient product line from packaging, household, mom and baby, or food stuff. And now Savient focus on some new trend in the market. This is a sugarcane product. That is the product that we are focused to consult with SDC. Savient business model is Savient will be the bridge between the manufacturer inside or outside Vietnam to customer inside Vietnam. As you can see, this is SDC supply chain. NTT will bring product from manufacturer to customer, and now about 50% of the product is sold via regional wholesaler, and the rest is via hyper or supermarket. And in the future, NTT will maybe focus on e-commerce or sell directly to food franchise. This is our analyst, food analyst, and you can see some challenge for NTT. First, they need to define market segment because sugarcane product is quite new, so they need to know who will be their product. Second will be pricing, because sugarcane product usually more expensive than plastic product, so they NDC should find a suitable pricing policy. And for outside impact, NDC should consider about economic downturn under COVID-19 impact, because this may reduce the demand. And the last, NDC needs find a solution to solve that problem that they now depend on foreign suppliers. And next, this time we'll present about market opportunity and challenge.
As Mr. Hai has just mentioned, COVID-19 is not only a threat, but also an opportunity, which gives us new ideas of a very potential market, the food delivery market. Firstly, based on a result of 840 respondents in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City in April 2020, the food delivery demand has risen significantly after the COVID-19. About 75% of respondents have used food delivery services, and 70% among these have increased their frequency of use. In detail, 79% of users order food delivery at least one time per week, and most frequent times are weekday lunch or dinner on the weekdays and weekends. And an interesting fact here is that a portion of population who hasn't used delivery service before has changed their behavior. From very first, the purpose is to stay safe from the pandemic. After experiencing, they realize that the delivery service is really convenient and are becoming familiar with using this service. And this new customer accounts for 24% of total delivery service users. Secondly, regarding kind of delivery food, the most popular dishes are fried chicken, Italian food, and pizza. They are almost dry food, so that the biodegradable container product SPC, which will be presented in our proposal part, highly fits this market. Thirdly, under the explosion of digital technology, mobile app is the leading channel for delivery service success. Over 60% of food delivery service users say that they use apps to order food online, so they could save time taken to travel to the restaurant or shop. They save from the COVID virus, enjoy the wider choice of food, or take the advantage of promotion, as well as enjoy the convenience of making online payments. Top 5 delivery apps in Vietnam consist of GrabFood with 79% of users, followed by Now with 56%, GoFood with 41%, Baemin with 15%, and NoShip 12%. Finally, the middle class D-Gen and millennial generation, who age from 16 to 35, are two most potential segments for eco-friendly delivery container products, because most of them have high responsibility for environment saving. According to a survey by Global Web Index of about 112,000 internet users, Degen and millennials are more willing to take extra for eco-friendly or sustainable products than other generations. Meanwhile, millennials are usually middle class who have sufficient income to buy a higher price eco product which reflect their beliefs and values. Degen with lower income can play as the role of influencers, which support activities to raise the awareness of eco-product benefit among customers. Additionally, the market size of Degen and millennials user is large. Let's make a simple estimation. The population of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City in 2020 is now about 17 billion people. Meanwhile, according to a research in 2016, which is conducted by General Statistics of Vietnam and United Nations Population Fund, the population who age from 16 to 35 years old, which is our target segment, accounts about 35% of total population. It will make a very conservative assumption that the portion of food delivery users among the age group above is about 34%, the normal percentage before COVID-19. The target market size will be at least 2 billion active users. And besides the potential of the market, is there any problem with the food delivery market? The answer is yes. Plastic pollution from takeaway containers. A report released by Business Consulting has revealed that within less than 3 decades, each Vietnamese person's plastic consumption has increased by 10 times. Moreover, many containers are made from harmful chemicals for health. For example, styrofoam and plastic bags. Under high temperature, fast food will produce toxins, which are harmful to the human liver and increase the risk of cancer. Finally, what is the problem of value change? Include consumer perspective. The young generation is the most responsible age for the environment. However, currently, they do not have much alternative options of plastic or styrofoam takeaway containers. Regarding to suppliers, they're really concerned about the cost increase in using eco products. Besides, some of them still have less awareness of this concept. And regarding food orders, as food orders only act as the intermediary to deliver food, so they don't have much motivation in promoting eco-friendly containers. So how to solve all of these challenges and take advantage of market opportunities for sustainable growth of biodegradable container products of SEC? In the next part, Mr. Park will present our solution as a reform to this question.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so far. That we will propose that brand value chain over supply chain. So, as Ms. Tang explained it is not a certain a part of problem. It's structural supply chain. There is no. It's difficult to get motivate to provide it. So we need to understand structural problem here. Then we describe and draw this diagram. So suppliers provided restaurant that it is a typical way to provide using from a mini market to a traditional market and reseller. Then my research with real Korean or some foreign restaurant. Then when I discussed with the owner, with a couple of foreign restaurant owner, they said that they went to, in Hanoi, they went to Dongsuan market to buy the plastic because they have no very well connected with the supplier. So they went to the Dongsuan market when COVID started. A lot of the Korean restaurant and some foreign restaurant to visit Tumchuan to buy that plastic container to supply for the delivery services. So, and this is very typical distribution channels to so far the restaurants who can get it. So restaurant point of view is difficult to get biodegradable products because it's not easy to find it in the market. It is one point. And food delivery portal point of view, so restaurant there is no option. Restaurant don't provide, they cannot provide any kind of option to select it from consumer. So consumer also they don't know very well about that. What is eco-friendly, then eco-plastic or biodegradable plastic? Consumer also they don't know what is it. And even we provided eco-friendly and biodegradable product. What is it then? What is mean? And it's not easy to understand. So overall, the structural last motivate is very difficult to go to the market. So then I explain it the consumer point of view. If there is no options, people feel it is not a choice. It is not a decision because there is no choice. But if when it make a choice and options, it becomes decision. So we can say psychologically, good decision or bad decision for our planet. So this is very important thing to start with our business. So we should provide options first. Second, people has the people worry about the pain from loss is bigger than pain from gain. So if we provided option is default option is plastic, and another option is biodegradable or eco-friendly product, is they need to pay more. It's a higher loss, and they will feel the pain from loss. So we suggest to make it option default biodegradable and eco-friendly product. This is key point to say. So, and we have two kind of psychological options. And then we understand here virtuous value circle design. Of course, it needs to start from affordable price. And affordable price with collaborate with the giant. Like GrabFood is very big, and if we collaborate our value, our brand with the giants like GrabFood and Now Food, it could very help us to create our value, brand value also. And especially Stabian distribution has nationwide distribution channel is very good value proposition for the food delivery company and food portal. So this is another important value proposition from Stabian to work with, collaborate with the giant food portal. And over the supply chain provided the brand value over the supply chain. We cooperate with NGO and the brand value. Currently, Stabian has the eco-green brand value, and with the lots of social network to create the consumer awareness and consumer loyalty to increase the market share and increase the market size. And back to that again, keep the affordable price to increase dominance in the market. This is what we understand to propose the virtuous circle. So we apply that virtuous circle idea to provide every corner of supply chain to have a value, brand value chain. So we call that eco-green brand value chain. So the Stabian is eco-green is major value owner, the brand owner, to offer that is the value chain for the over supply chain. In case of restaurants, we can say that they have responsibility then we can say EcoGreen responding to our planet. And between the EcoGreen portal and EcoGreen respond, they can define it EcoGreen incentive between two to provide. Who provide EcoGreen the food delivery container? The food portal need to provide like a recommendation in their search. It is incentive. Then also whenever they pay that fee, also a part of incentive they can share to boost the food the eco-friendly delivery container. In case between portal and consumer, of course, the portal need to provide options and additional fee to the most engageable generation, like Generation Z and the Millennium generation and education people. So of course, Stabian needs to create a campaign to provide social campaign to provide value proposition and give some loyalty program who using the Stabian product to let them have a self-descendant. Self-descendant I will explain later, but it's very important thing that people can engage to improve a society and then our planet. And also we need to define it. The product is clearly what is mean of the biodegradable. So EcoGreen Shop 180 means the product will be degradable within 180 days. Because it should deliver a clear message to the consumer that consumer can feel their responding for our planet as a responsibility. So every corner of the supply chain will get benefit and increasing motivate and bigger market, and the Stabian can dominate the market share. Actually, we hope to dominate it. So brand identity and value we saw that here. So we use that EcoGreen and add one more thing, EcoGreen Shop. So shop means that looks like a food container shape, and second is meaning is ascending to increase something. Third is shop is the hashtag represents everything in social network. It's easy to go to connect with social network, and it is also explain number like a shop EcoGreen Shop 180. So it's good to provide information for everywhere. So EcoGreen, the Stabian is affordable price and nationwide distribution for bioplastic, biobaggers, the baggers food container. And EcoGreen responding is for consumer and restaurant that I will respond for the voice of nature. And voice of nature meaning one of at our situation is coronavirus pandemic is our voice of nature, we understand. And if we keep wasting plastic, then we will feel another voice, another bad voice of nature. So then this is very well formulated to explain that consumer and the restaurant to engage this program and value identity. Third is EcoGreen bring for food delivery. In case of Korea, food delivery and food portal is separate than the other company. In Vietnam, so almost the same company they are doing. But localized food delivery, still there's local only for food delivery company cooperated with the food portal, separate cases. So then food delivery company also we can give them bring safety and nature on the table in time. So it is also motivate for the food delivery company. Then of course the food portal and portal of nature and organic. The portal is a gate of the nature of organic, so they can change their brand image to the consumer to increase their brand loyalty. And for the product nurturing means from nature to nature with technology. So we recommend the Stabian distribution company should put in more and more technology and develop the product to create a more nurturing product with, we explain like that, sharp 180, maybe sharp 90, so better products to suggest to the market. And the value and key partners and activities here that I already explained overall things. So partners, Savient, Food Portal, then GrabFood now, GoFood, Baemin, and also the partners, important partners, we need to get engagement from consumer and restaurant and NGO. So we can use that EcoGreen responding with them and food delivery company and manufacturer, and to develop the better product. So in detailed activity, we will keep it. So before I explain it, that self-transcendence is very important thing for the consumer. How we can attract the millennium and the Generation Z consumer. So we need to provide, let them feel self-transcendence. This means that they are providing something value to the society, and that not only for self but also the others, to help to engage together. And this our proposal is overall this the value pyramid, and we can find it a lot of value we can deliver. Emotional value, wellness, the reward me, and the best value. So they are engaging, they are using the friendly product to make their emotional is better and changing their life, and finally they will impact their social. So to get more awareness. So far we have a couple of market feedback. We the survey, but we listed two. One of the typical and very authentic restaurant from Spain. They import everything from Spain, and they worry about it using plastic, making their product the quality worse during the delivery. So, but they have no way. They went to Dongsuan market to buy, and key important thing that whenever they ship, they need to use 2 or 3 pieces of container, not only 1 piece of container, because they need to provide side dishes. So if the restaurant provide the side dishes, not only 1 container they need to use it, multiple container they need to use it. So 7 or 10 thousand BND per the shipment. In case of Korean restaurant, then they are very good. They have 7 restaurants in Hanoi now, and they are using monthly 163 or 100,000 of container. Now they are using now per day per month. So at whenever they ship it, 3 or 4 pieces of containers, the price is 11,000 to the 13,000 Vietnam dong. They are using it. So then average price is product from Dongsuan market is 2,000 or 2,500 VND, but all restaurants, foreign restaurants, they agree to bear 20 or 30% higher than plastic with full package. I explained couple of containers together, and they hope then multifunction container. What does it mean? Is multifunction container looks like not a very simple container. One container provides multiple food at the same time, so they can save the money, and the packaging time is most important for the company. So whenever they're using multiple container, they have to pack multiple times. But if they're using this one, and we understand the restaurant behavior, then how they prepare the delivery food to package, so to provide that optimal design, even more expensive, because their productivity will increase more, then they can save the employee and employee cost. So this is important feedback. They want to use a multiple function bagasse containers to use in here. You can see that some of and this one is specially designed for chicken and beer to deliver together in Korea. So far I explained it, our value, the brand value proposition over supply chain. So next that Mr. Chung and Mr. Bien will explain the implementation and the finance projection.
So thank you, Mr. Josh. We must thanks to Stavian Distribution Company as the one of the first pioneer company in Vietnam to supply these products in Vietnam market and also to the international market. But here we very focused on the Vietnam market. Thank you for your care to the environment, and we understand that you already have a lot of action to save the environment and grow your business. Here is the implementation roadmap, which is we understand that some of the action you're already doing, and we propose some of the our idea. Hope that you can considering it. We here we aim for a long-term benefit and long-term value of your business. So as a summary for the implementation, as Mr. Josh mentioned before, firstly about the product, we thinking that we need to have a variety of the product design. So far, many kind of food require a different kind of container, and also we have many sizes. So for different with a lot of food like that, so we need to have more product design to catering for the needs of different food. And we also very well know that you have the plan to set up the factory in Vietnam. This is very important action to do, because firstly, it will help to reduce the manufacturing cost, and also it can diversify the risk of dependent on the overseas supplier, where at the current moment, for example, like COVID-19 pandemic happened, so it can disrupt your supply chain. So if you have factory in Vietnam, it will be very beneficial in the long run. And also currently Vietnam gain attention in the world to be the destination for setting up the factory. So the infrastructure now supporting all the companies to start manufacturing in Vietnam, and Vietnam now aim to be the next China to be the manufacturer to supply the product to the world. Second thing is about the partnership. The Stavian FDC already one of the pioneer company in Vietnam to care about the eco-friendly product, and we also seeing that some of the food delivery portal like GrabFood already have some movement to care about environment. In recent movement we see in the market, GrabFood already introduced a button in their portal order. Say customer can request the shop owner to provide the food in the eco-friendly container, and that is a very good movement from GrabFood. We were going to see that many other portals like Logic and also many others will do the same thing. And the two leader in the market, I think the best is that SDC working with GrabFood, we propose that because both companies now very care for the environment and doing this as a kind of social responsibility. So two companies can co-brand, means when we design the product, we can print the logo of two companies, SDC and GrabFood, on the container, and we can give some message. For example, like this product is subsidized by Stavian Distribution Company and also Grab together to save the environment. So with that, with the message on the product, like that, customer will appreciate our action to save the environment, and our in the long run, it will be very, very good for our brand, set up as a very eco-friendly brand. That's why we encourage SEC to considering subsidize to the shop owner in terms of pricing, so that can make the price affordable to the shop owner. Here we see that the three parties need to have responsible to make our environment better. First is the supplier, second is the food portal, and the third one is the consumer. And now we already seeing some of the movement with the portal food delivery company, and also supplier like ADC now also have some movement. And we also encourage that shop owner also doing the same thing. So in order to motivate them contribute the value to this, we encourage that the price should be affordable, because currently the price seems to be more expensive, much more expensive compared to the traditional plastic product. So of course, if we lower the price, it will affect the profit. But we're thinking that in the long run, it will help the ADC to gain the market share. And the second thing, very important, is the sustainable development, and can help you in terms of the brand. That's why we come to the next phase. We after we gain the market share, and then we maintain our leading position in the eco-friendly brand, and also support the whole group as the Stavian Group as the image of social responsibility. That is our implementation roadmap. Next, please. Then we are talking about the market potential. Here we have some assumptions. Ms. Tang mentioned that during the COVID-19, the delivery user can be 75% of all the respondents, but we still using the number 34% as a survey also done by GNME 4 years ago. We don't have the most recent number, but we're still using this number. We believe that this the current figure could be more than this, but we're using this figure as very conservative number. So at least if you you can achieve this. So with 34% of the delivery user, and the frequency of the deliver this number also quite conservative. And now Mr. Chung, with all of this number and also marketing some of the market assumptions, will present about the finance projection.
Thank you, Mr. Bien. Before going for financial projection, I would like to highlight some key assumptions for the model. Customers who order food delivery are willing to pay around 30,000 to 50,000 BND for shipping costs, so they will be ready to pay 6,000 for packaging per one order. Contribution margin in FMCG currently in Vietnam is at 20 to 25%. General selling expense and overhead cost is 5% of sales. Branding and marketing costs for the first 2 years will be 18 to 20%, including subsidy for customer to gain market share and educate customer with choice that's beneficial for environment. Then this cost will gradually decrease to 5% in year 5. And for 34% of food delivery user who hold population of age group, after we explained in previous slide. We can see here, we try to do a conversion to a monthly basis to find total time. The whole population is around 2 million people order per month. For example, 8% of the group they order 2 times a week, and 30% of 2 million people they order 1 time a week. So we timely 2 to 4 times, and we found that in a month 3,070,000 to 70 times they order in a month. Multiple with 6,000 price per order, we have 21 billion VND revenue per month. So here we have a projection revenue in next 5 years. We will have market share from 2% in the first year, and then in the 5th year we will have a 30% of market share, and then we will have a revenue from 5 billion in the first year, and at the 5th year we will have a 77 billion VND. Profits we will get lost in the first 2 years because of heavy investment in branding and marketing costs, and we start have a profit from third year, and total accumulated profit in the 5th year will be 15 billion VND. So this is our graph projecting on the revenue and profit.
So in summary, we have some summary recommendation in terms of short term and long term for NDC. In short term, we recommend that NDC can reinvest in the marketing to promote this biodegradable product, so it can make this product affordable to the shop owner, and we can gain the dominant market share by this strategy. One of the observation we observed during in this market is because of the product. It's very difficult to do the product differentiation for this type of product, because of the there's very little differentiation between manufacturer. So in terms of differentiation, we don't think that is a good strategy. So we're thinking that we need to use the pricing strategy as our main strategy to win in this market. So that's why our aim is to gain the 30% of the market share in the 5 years and maintain the dominant market in the market. Currently, we also observe that there are a few suppliers in the Vietnam market. There are 5 other suppliers in the market also supplying this. With our pricing strategy to make it affordable, and with the strong support from by the financing of the Savian Group. So we think that with that strategy we can compete and defeat against the other supplier, because it's as observation, the other our competitor in the market quite small, and they cannot sustain in the long run if by competing in price with us. For the long term, firstly, need to set up the factory in Vietnam. We understand that ADC now is doing. Of course, there are a few challenges, but we hope that the project will going well. And ADC can consider invest in R&D to reduce the marketing costs, to reduce the manufacturing costs for this product, because currently this product is much more expensive than the plastic product. It's almost 3 times. Maintain the market leader position, and also they are doing many campaigns to promote green and sustainable. We strongly ADC considering this business as a social business, social responsible business, rather than focusing on profit. And this one will in turn help to for the brand of the Savian Group, and also help you in the long term sustainable development. Next, please. So now I will talk a brief about the COVID-19 effect on the plastic pollution. Some of our observations during the COVID-19, and you can see that during the COVID-19, because of the quarantine and social distance, so people afraid of going out and eat, and they order food through the online is increased dramatically. The GrabFood delivery app show a surge of 40%, 400% in order. But as you can see in the picture, all the food containers are plastic. That is a very big problem, because we saw that the surging in the order, but in consequence, the amount of the plastic waste also surging accordingly. So in the next slide, you see that there's a huge waste on the plastic. You can see that the man in the picture now seeing many food container is a plastic, and that is a problem to the environment. We are thinking about some of the solutions that can hopefully can address this issue. Firstly, the government needs to have restriction or even ban on the single-use plastic. So we cannot depend on the consumer, because consumer, they have both economic mindset when they choose the product. So normally they will choose the cheap product. So we're thinking that the ban on the single-use plastic by law is very important. In Thailand, for example, they already implement this law to ban the single-use plastic. But during the COVID-19 happened, they need to remove this ban and allow people to using plastic. So they see that the huge amount of the plastic waste during this COVID-19. Why? Maybe because of the shortage of the supply chain. Maybe not enough product to supply in the market, or maybe because of the price too expensive, so that they need to remove the ban. So we're thinking that, of course, the ban is very important, and we also need to supply enough to the demand, so that when we start banning, people have the choice to have the option to use the biodegradable product. And and also we encourage consumer to using shop owner also start giving the option to the consumer. Maybe shop owner they have two options for the at the moment maybe they still they still can consider two options. When the consumer requests them to using the biodegradable, they have the product to support them. Because now most of the shop owner we see that they don't have the availability of the biodegradable product to support customer, and also the supply and manufacturer giving the subsidize to promote this product. So with all these actions, we hope that can address this issue.
And here is some Korea case study. Barogo is the food delivery company. They don't have food portal. And Barogo, they biggest delivery company, and the full line of the food container they develop by themselves. Then of course some supplier they're working, but they have 250 type of food container eco-friendly container already, and they provided B2C and B2B shopping mall. B2B shopping mall is for the restaurant. No, that B2C is restaurant. The B2B is someone they deal with the local presence to supply the product to the restaurant. So they set up these two business model. And recently, yesterday, they announced to invest the shared kitchen. So this is a food delivery market merging together with the delivery container, also shared kitchen now. And this is another example. Is the biggest food portal in Vietnam. Been in Korea. So Baemin, they already number 4 in Vietnam. So they got a big fund from Delivery Hero from German company. They are providing this bagasse also, and bio-based plastic is minerals 50% plastic they develop it. There's many the material developing company in Korea to co-working with them to provide it, and they have 325 different type of food containers they lined up to provide in the Korea market. So today here is all our present, and we hope to get your the feedback and something questions, so we can answer.
Thank you, team. I think we did very good practical project. I think you chose a very good topic, because now everybody care about environment, right? And now we are living in the COVID time. So before COVID time, many we see many campaign in Vietnam to protect environment, ban plastic. But when COVID time coming, nobody talk anymore about plastic ban.
Right.
Yeah, and you see in your research project, the plastic waste is growing up. Yeah. I have some comment of your practicum. This is, you did very well. It's help for student distribution to apply many things from your practicum. You did a good market research. You have a good statistic data. You have a good idea how to promote product. You use what Steven distribution have to sell this product, right? With a good P&L thing is so it's very useful for steering distribution company. But I have some question for you. You didn't mention about marketing budget, right?
Marketing budget.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tien, for your very a lot of the feedback is a very good feedback for us. Thank you for your feedback. And to address this question, Mr. Chung will have more insight to provide the information. But overall, here we put yes, there's a line for branding and marketing costs, and Mr. Chung will explain more about that.
I think this comes from our key assumption to make awareness among our customers and mainly to educate our customers to choose sugarcane product instead of plastic one. So we will have a very heavy investment in branding as eco-friendly, make our customer know about safety and for health from sugarcane product, and make our product our product is very environment friendly to our environment. Expense for educate people in the first 2 years is very much, and 2 billion or 2 in 3, I think it's in practice and in the real situation will be higher.
Yeah. When you have should have more detail about marketing budget. Yeah.
Okay, so it was discussed with me because I have some branding experience by my company. So my company, to make the branding and very well branding image and brand identity, from brand identity, not only brand identity, but also is a company identity, with to explain it as company as eco-friendly product. So the brand identity need to work with them and to provide that information to the every month with the social platform to provide it. So then overall, I gave them is overall my experience, how much my company is the pay the money, but in detail that we couldn't prepare that information in here. But even overall, this money is 5 times higher than my company. My company is compared to your company is small. So this came from my experience to making a branding to the social and the consumer. So this we will provide. I can provide more detail in future. But now then is 5 times compared with my company is as of benchmarking.
And also, I would like to add that during our research for the cost of the entrepreneurship and also cost that we studied previously, we observed that there's a lot of research and also observations saying that for startup and for new company, the marketing costs around 20% of the revenue normally. So, but here, as you can see, that we spend almost 40% of the revenue for the first year, and we spend almost double compared to the normal practice. So I think this is heavily action of us to trying to promote this product, to make the awareness, great awareness
to the market.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, and one more question. What do you think? How we can protect our product from uh, new competitor? Because we will be the pioneer, right? We will create this new product market, promote the sugar package container, and maybe after 1 year, 2 years, new company they also will set up a factory in Vietnam and will sell to the market the same product. What do you think? What should we do?
Okay, maybe I have first idea. Because we are pioneer and we already invest heavily, so our brand in the market is there. That is our value. So of course, competitor also, there are also some new competitor which also strong financing support. They can set up factory here, but they were behind us because they new into the market and they need to catch up us by time to introduce to the market. But at that time we already well ahead in terms of branding. People already very familiar with our brand, and we hope that we will need to catch up fast in order to gain the market share.
Okay, so then
Thank
this
you,
is the
Ken.
brand.
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead. So
And so maybe just another idea is because we create the image that we are not we are very care for the environment. We not care for profit. We here to save the environment, and here we create the value for society. We don't have the purpose for business for profit. So in terms of consumers, they were thinking that our company is a good company to care for the environment.
yeah, so not only for just virtually the value that you can see the screen, then some like a certification mark, and it's not certification mark but brand image to put it everywhere. Then if whenever the restaurant is using the Savient product, we should provide it the mark in the front of their door, and this company using and care our environment, and that mark is spreading everywhere, and after then another company will follow same idea. Okay, so you can see there is a many in case of that the payment case, VNPay is number one, right? But the others so all following, but still VNPay is the number one market share.
Yeah.
So it looks like that who needs to concur the first that sticker the certification to the restaurant and on the product. So it will all consistent to provide the same logo to everywhere. So and the other company will follow it, but its first mover will keep it and easy to protect the competition.
And also we also thinking that if the follower want to compete against us, there's no way that they need to follow us in terms of pricing and in terms of also marketing. So overall, it will good for the market. It will good for the consumer, because eventually they have to reduce the price and make this product become available and affordable to the market, and eventually it saves the environment. That is the purpose. So I think competition is good in this case, because eventually it's good for society.
And also one of very important point that we explain it, SDC is the biggest company, has a traditional distribution channel. So you can distribute it everywhere in Vietnam. Then the other company just came here to set up their factory. To distribute that product is not easy. So then can we use that distribution channel?
Yes.
Yes,
But
it's right.
still, this part is campaign and value proposition to direct to the consumer is a lot of we need to invest at this part too, because you have no connection, and here no connection now between the consumer and the supplier, but we have to make that connection using NGO or social network to keep campaign and let them aware that your logo, and following that, understanding your company, Stabian is caring environment, like Kimberly Clark. Kimberly Clark, they are doing very good because they cut the tree, cut the tree and destroy the nature. But their image is everyone understand. They take care of our nature very well, right? So it is very important to point that how we can connect with Stabian and consumer to make your brand is very good image.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We also understand that there are some competitors maybe from overseas. They also want to set up the factory in Vietnam, maybe compete with you in the future. But we don't think that they easily can set up the distribution network similar like Savian, and they need to working with somebody locally to distribute, and with that is also costly. So we think that we have the ADC have the competitive advantage in this game.
And really, we emphasize that work with Grab Food, they put it as SCDC or Stabian logo somewhere in Grab. This is very good branding, co-branding strategy. But you have very good, because you have very good fundamental in Vietnam with the Stabian group, and to serve them and complete this distribution channel in Vietnam. So the value proposition point of view for GrabFood, they need someone local company to promote origin from Vietnam to cooperate together. So the GrabFood point of view is not good to import that product from overseas. They have to find it who is strong partner to provide such product. So this is the reason somehow to GrabFood and working with GrabFood, you can connect with 60 million, half of Vietnamese population can aware your brand.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Professor?
Yes, actually, thank you very much, Mr. Tien. Very nice to see you again.
Thank you, Professor.
We have spent quite a bit of time working on this project. So many of the ideas in the presentation was also some of my thinking in the back. So to me, I really like the project in two ways. Number one is the focus on the value chain and the team brand value chain, which I think very important. And then I think the market is big enough, and we don't even have to worry about competition for now. One thing that I think seems to be a little bit missing in the presentation today is the discussion on the production of those materials. There is, the quality of the product is still very premature. I think we need to spend more time on R&D to make sure that we can come up with some product that can last longer, can handle liquids, water, and then also have different type of productions that would fit into the use of the products, different shapes, different form, size, and everything. So I think we need to focus more on R&D more to improve the quality of the product in the future. And the second issue for me about the production is if we are successful, are we able to produce in high quantity? Can we have enough raw material in order to produce in high quantity what we are doing right here? I think this is some of the concern that I think we have in the long run, as opposed to focusing too much on demand. I sincerely think that once the branding is there, once the awareness is there, we would not have any problem selling these things to the market, especially in the value chain concept, where we have a lot of partners, the consumers, the restaurants, being a partner with us, co-branding with us. I worry a little bit less about that side, the demand side, but I worry a little bit more about the production, the supply side. Are we able to produce a lot of sugar cane products in order to, do we have enough banana leaves in order to do these things? And then do we have enough research ability to maintain the product and the quality that the consumer, that the competitors cannot copy us?
Okay. Could I comment to your?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and during a research, and I explain here, this company, they're working with a small venture, and they mean working with a small venture, and I contact them. The venture company, they have only 6 people. They only develop formulas, how to combine the material to make it the bagasse or bio-based plastic. The bagasse and bio-based plastic is different characteristic to use different purpose. So that they increase the mineral 50% these days. Then so I mean it is not a fully degradable product, but can reduce the plastic. So in Korea, the trend in Korea, they less use bagasse now, then focus more the bio-based plastic. So then why I contacted companies as a venture, it could be a good model to cooperate together. And I asked them, can you import or can you cooperate to make some cooperation in Vietnam? Then they said very welcome, but only thing that material is very sensitive of humidity. So then they already have experience. They worry about Vietnamese whether the humidity environment is good or not, and they wanna discuss more. Then it means a lot of Korea, the venture company, small company, they develop formula, then cooperate with the Stavian distribution could be a very good cooperation model. And they definitely they wanted to expand their market also.
Very good. I mean, again, the idea is to keep doing more R&D in order to get the products in the high quality and keep competition away from us. The second thing is actually also on the production side. I'm thinking about what we have been discussing is what we call vertical integration. But then sometime in the future, you might want to look into horizontal integration, basically meaning that not only would we produce stuff for the restaurants for food, but you can also expand your portfolio of products on other things like packaging, shoe boxes, pharmaceutical applications, as opposed to just focusing on food delivery.
Right.
So once we have technology, then we can basically expand different type of products beyond the restaurant business. And if we do that, if we do that, then we maintain the economies of scale, we keep the production low, and therefore driving the competition away.
Right. Right. These
But
days,
at the end,
company. Yeah.
go ahead.
Please. Yeah, right. That I have the same idea with you. Then we discussed, but we focus today to put the container, but we already discussed same idea.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Professor Tung, for the comment about production, about limit of raw material. Yeah. Also, we are no worry about because will be less of bagash pulp. We don't have enough sugarcane factory to collect this bagash pulp to produce bagash container. Because that's just a new trend. But if Vietnam, South Asia, Europe, US, every country will use this product. The biggest problem will be supply, not demand.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Actually, I'm pretty sure you all know the company Tetra Pak, right?
Yes, we know.
Yes.
Tetra Pak is a Swiss. Actually, when I was studying in Switzerland, a classmate of mine actually was a co-inventor of Tetra Pak 40 years plus ago. And then my aspiration and my vision and my expectation is that maybe if we work hard enough on this project, sometime in the future we might take over the business of Tetra Pak. They are still, and then the idea is that they have a very simple technology that they can use the paper and put the water into it. And then if we can come up with something that can dislodge and disrupt Tetra Pak, that would be, to me, the ultimate goal of this project.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So R&D is a very important thing for this project. Yeah, we should keep learning and doing more R&D.
Another strategy to stay to keep the competition away would be the concept that we've been discussing over this project over and over again, is the concept of co-branding and co-partnership. Say if, because we have a good cause, actually the new terminology in business strategy today is what we call circular economy. You will hear about these terms quite a bit in the next coming year. It's a new concept that came out from Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Currently, we have the linear economy, like supplier, production, sales, marketing, and consumer, and after-sales service. But now we have a circular economy where we try to recycle, reuse everything that we possibly can. So the concept of circular economy is coming out. And then this project is basically one of the very first ideas of making that circular concept happen. So I think we are a year or two ahead of the global trend. And I would love very much to see that this project coming out, especially from Stavian and from the VAMA program. So work on it, then I will support as much as I possibly can. But this is actually a very exciting project.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Tung.
Just have an idea crossed my mind regarding the material. We also did some research. Finding saying that there are some research in the world now. They can start using the waste from rice, and Vietnam is a lot of rice. Even during the harvest, there are a lot of waste. Like the rice tree, the body one, and also the rice husk. Now there's some research that they are also starting to how to make the biodegradable product from that. So we hope that with the help of the technology, so maybe that also good the source of the raw material in Vietnam.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tien. Then we hope to meet you because after when we have a chance to listen and face-to-face explain once, please please let us invite you to have a meeting again soon.
Okay. Thank you, Sepak.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Thank you. Can we have a picture with Professor and also Mr. Tien online? Also?
Picture.
Yeah.
Mr. Tien, you just say that so that we
Keep on screen.
Keep on screen, please. One more.
Screen bên này cũng được.
No problem. Okay.
Yes. So Professor. How to
Get closer.
no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Hello guys.
First,
Professor Tùng, could you say something? Because you not
with Mr. Tien first.
Okay.
Mr. Tien, you look great.
3, 2, 1.
You.
Again.
It's my everyone is smiling.
3, 2, 1. Nice.
Sabian, number one, Sabian, right?
Number one.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now,
Professor, say something. Professor, say something.
Professor, you say something so that your image is top up.
Again, actually, you know that we are offering a seminar.
That is.
Aloha.
Bye. Take care, everybody.
Professor, we are taking photo.
Again.
Yes, my.
3, 2, 1.
Is there any way to take photo with both of you on the screen?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Are you guys happy?
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Mr. Tien.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, Professor. Nice to meet you. Hope you meet you soon in Vietnam.
Yes. Take care.
Nhóm mình chụp ấy đi nhá. Khoan, nhóm này.
Nhóm mình chụp đây không? Hình dung thôi, hình dung thôi. Đây. Gây tay luôn.
How is my company depending to drop because I couldn't get here? You have printed
Nhưng mà em không
Nhưng mà có phải in đẹp hay giấy trắng bình thường.
họ còn làm video và em có thể in màu và đóng quyển đẹp.
Đây, để cái buổi branding học này được nhá. Trước
Yesterday, grab the phone. Grab the phone.
Anh ơi, anh ra chụp ảnh em. Nhóm mình chụp ảnh đã. Chụp ở đấy luôn à? Chụp ảnh ở phone straight. Okay, please.
Take picture of it. Here, outside.
I'll have no line. Because today, I mean, for the maintenance, the building station of the line.
Okay.
Thì xong mà đây cho background không?
Đây.
Từng người một à? Xoa này, anh chụp cái xoa. Thôi cả nhóm mình chụp trước đây. Không phải quá vào, còn áo vào. Áo kia mà. Cái áo kia.
Áo kia.
Áo hoa nữa. 25.000 cũng có bức ảnh nữa thôi đấy.
Ai chứ đây?
Wow, big brother. Big brother.
Đưa đây cho mà.
Mình phải phim đâu lớn với ai mình bỏ lại cái đâu không được hết.
Trong cái tin này nãy phải xuống dưới, bởi vì là sau đấy mà không
có điện ở ngoài.
Không hay ở ngoài.
Đang lấy ra.
đeo nhau ra.
Đỡ đẹp mà, hơi nóng tí mới đẹp.
Đỡ để nắng chụp ảnh.
Hey, President, Josh, I already ordered 30
Bottle of wine. How many per person? 1.5.
1.5.
So, one bottle, $8,000. $800, one bottle, right? 30 bottle.
Mua được nước ta
Mười ngày nha.
nó hỏi con câu hỏi khó. Môn đồ án này là đầu tiên. Physics hiểu
Ôi kiểu ấy, thằng nào cảm giác như kiểu mặt ấy rồi, đang kiểu cưng của
mắt lúc phải trong vest đi.
các bạn kiểu này trước đi. Anh tí chị đi đâu mà. Phải mặc áo đó chứ.
Ra nếu tí
Test thằng này. Hôm nay nó kiểu đi. Nhiều ngày có thể làm kiểu nói cho còn em thì có thể ra nhưng mà từ vây đi là từ vây phải tao tiền là từ vây. Cái củ anh cả nhóm vào gì đó.
Để thấy được cái xong anh đứng ở góc này nữa.
nhóm ở Dương Minh Trung là tốn nhiều.
Đây đủ. Còn bây giờ mất đến một cục trước luôn đi, chỉ biết con gì cái bảng xem vẫn được. Ok rồi.
Aloha people. Về về anh đi ra bỏ. Ok. Có nhìn thấy.
Ok.
Cái này. Mọi người đây ạ.
Này còn thế.
3, 2, 1. Chúng ta đang được phát được.
Cái này đóng cả thôi nhỉ? Encode nhé.
Nghe đi.